Hello everyone, welcome to the Study in Study Abroad webinar series. Thank you for joining us today. We are pleased to host this session in collaboration with the University of York, a top UK university. A high-performing member of the prestigious Russell Group, the University of York is globally recognized for life-changing research that directly informs the student learning experience. We are honored to have Joseph Swan with us today. Joseph is the regional manager for China, East Asia, and UK International. He will guide us through York's wide range of undergraduate and postgraduate courses, like campus life and scholarship opportunities. After the presentation, there will be a dedicated Q&A session where Joseph will address your questions on studying at York. So please get ready to inspire and let's dive into what makes the York an excellent choice for your academic journey. Without further delay, I'll now hand it over to you. Over to you, Joseph.
Okay, thanks, Rahul. That's great. Thank you very much for that. So, thank you everybody for coming. So, as Rahul's mentioned, my normal job is I work for the East Asia region of the University of York. So, India is not my market in particular, but I will be very happy to talk to you about opportunities for Indian students at the University of York. So thank you very much for coming. So I don't want to kind of talk in too much detail about this slide, but I've just wanted to give you some indication of some of the achievements of the University of York. So we are a university that is ranked in top 150 in the world, according to the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. We're also a member of the Russell Group. So the Russell Group, for those of you who don't know it, is the grouping of the most prestigious UK universities. I would say it's roughly equivalent to the Ivy League in the US, if you want to think of it that way. We have over 22,000 students at the University of York, and students from India are the second largest international group at our university. So if you come to the University of York, you will be amongst many other students from India, but you will also be studying as part of an international university where we get students from over 150 different countries across the world. So sustainability is an issue that is of increasing interest to a lot of students. So we are ranked 34th in the world for sustainability, according to QS. We've also made a lot of investment in issues like solar energy. We've divested from fossil fuels. And we're taking lots of everyday action to increase the sustainability of life at the University of York, which you can read about there. So I just wanted to play a short video, hopefully this will work, which will give you some insight into the university. Okay, so hopefully that short video, which I just need to stop. Hopefully that's given you some insight into the University of York, just showing you some of the visuals there from that. And then what I'd also like to talk about is some of the other achievements that we have at the university. So the University of York has achieved the gold standard for its teaching, learning, and student experience as measured by the Teaching Excellence Framework, which is an independent government-led project that assesses the quality of teaching at universities. And the other thing I'd like to mention is that the University of York is one of only 4 universities in the UK that has achieved gold standard for teaching, but also top 10 for research. So York shares that accolade with Imperial London, with Oxford, and with Cambridge. So it's very rare for universities to achieve both those standards. Okay. Again, I'm not going to kind of talk through this too much, just going to put this up on screen for you, showing some of the subject rankings for the University of York, where we rank in the Times Good University Guide in the top 10. So they include different areas like chemistry, biological sciences, psychology, just to name a few. And then within the QS World University Rankings, they include education, history, English. One that's not on there that we've just entered the top 100 for is psychology. So this is showing you a shot here of our West Campus. So the University of York was established in 1963. We have 2 campuses. We have the West and the East, and this is the West Campus that you're seeing on screen now. So you can see just from looking at that image, something about the nature of the university. It's very much a natural environment. It's got a lake in the middle of the campus. So those buildings that you can see are a mixture of academic departments, so areas where you would be taught, and also student accommodation, or what we call colleges. Okay. So the subjects at the University of York are broken down into 3 main areas, or what we call faculties. So number 1 is arts and humanities. So they include archaeology, English and related literature, history, history of art, language and linguistic science, philosophy, School of Arts and Creative Technologies, and the newest school at York, which is the York School of Architecture, which is going to be welcoming its first students this September. It's a very new venture for York. The second area is social sciences. So that includes economics, education, politics and international relations, business and society, which includes things like management, marketing, human resource management, actuarial science. We also have sociology, and we have the law school. And then the third grouping is the sciences faculty, which includes biology, chemistry, computer science, data science, engineering, environment and technology, health sciences, nursing and midwifery, mathematics, the Hull York Medical School, which includes medicine, physics, and psychology. So we're a very broad range of subjects. Something that's quite new for York is the area of data science. So you can study that in various combinations. So data science is based in several different departments. So for example, if you want to specialize and do a data science with AI and statistics, that's housed in our Department of Mathematics. Or you can look at specializing in data science with human behavior, which is based in our Department of Psychology. We also have a BSc in data science. So just going to talk a little bit about applying to the University of York and our entry requirements. So we have a range of entry requirements for international students. So courses can go from the equivalent of A star AA at A level to BBC at A level. If you're applying from international baccalaureate, you'd be looking for somewhere between 31, 37 points. If you're looking at the central board, it would be 80% from your best four subjects, and the state board, it would be similar as well. One thing to mention is that if you're taking what is called a MOOC, which is a modular online course, that might make you eligible to receive a slightly lower entry requirement. So that's something that's worth you looking into. Then for postgraduate, generally we're looking for at least a equivalent of a UK 2.2, which would be 55%, up to about 60%, which is the equivalent of 2.1. Just a reminder that applications will actually be open for postgraduate study until the 29th of August if you're looking at September 25 entry. English language requirements. I mean, really the best thing to do is to check our website. I think IELTS is probably the most commonly accepted English language qualification, but we do include acceptance for lots of other different English language qualifications, which are listed there on screen. So the best thing is to check the course page for further details of that. And then we also have the option of International Year 1, which you can do through the International Pathway College, which is based on the University of York campus. You can also do that in London, or you can study that online through Kaplan Digital. So that's something that's worthwhile having a look at. Okay. And then in terms of fees and funding, so we have a variety of different fees according to what type of course you're looking to take. So generally speaking, there are two main differences. There are what are called classroom-based courses, and there are laboratory-based courses, and they tend to attract a slightly different fee level. So laboratory-based courses, because they require a lot of specialist equipment, things like labs, which you would use during your course, they tend to have slightly higher fees. But these tuition fees are always listed on the web page for the individual course that you are interested in. So the best thing to do is to have a look at our website, and that will give you further details. And then something that I know will be of interest to most people is the issue around scholarships. So at the University of York, we have a very generous package of scholarships for students from India. So if you are an undergraduate student and you apply to the University of York and you receive an offer to study with us for 2025 entry, we have a new India Undergraduate Global Opportunity Scholarship, which is worth £10,000 for all students, which is for first year of study only. For postgraduate students, we have slightly different scholarships. So there will be an automatic scholarship of £4,000 for all postgraduate offer holders for 2025. There are additional scholarships of an extra £2,000, which are nominations based. I think really the best thing, if you're very interested in further information about the scholarships opportunities, is to always talk to our team based in India. Have a chat with them, maybe have an online meeting with them, or if you're nearby, call in and have a chat with them. In terms of accommodation, the University of York has accommodation based on campus. So obviously it's slightly different according to whether or not you're an undergraduate or a postgraduate student. But accommodation, as long as you meet the deadlines for application, you will be guaranteed accommodation that is either owned, managed, or approved by the University of York. So for undergraduates, most students will choose to stay on campus for year one. And there is a range of different types of accommodation available. For postgraduates, postgraduate courses are 1 year at the University of York. Most students will again choose to be on campus. So there are lots of different opportunities for you to live on campus in university accommodation. So like I mentioned, we have two different campuses. We have the East and we have the West Campus. So you can choose accommodation that is nearer to your academic department. So the other thing to mention is all the prices that you see for University of York accommodation will include your bills. So that would be things like gas, electricity, water. It will include Wi-Fi, contents insurance, and 24-hour security. The big difference really with accommodation is to look at whether or not you want to have what is called catered accommodation, which is where meals are provided for you, or whether you want to have self-catered accommodation, which is where you buy your own food and you cook your own meals using a kitchen that you probably share with about 5 or 6 other students. The other choice to make is whether or not you want to have a room that's got your own bathroom, or whether or not you want to have a room where you would share a bathroom again with about 5 or 6 other people living on your corridor. So those are different choices for you to make. And if you have a chat with our staff, if you want to have a think about the pros and cons of those different options. So the other thing that is quite distinctive about the University of York is that we are only one of about 6 universities in the UK that offers what we call a college system. So a college is it's partly it's a physical building. So there are 11 different colleges on the campus of the University of York, but each college has got a manager and a team of staff, and their job is to help you if you have any problems. So the advantage of the college system is that when you come to York as a student, you will join one of our 11 colleges. If you are an undergraduate student, there are 10 colleges you can join. If you're a postgraduate student, you would join something called Wentworth Graduate College, which is only for postgraduate taught and PhD students. So the college is your way to make the transition to life in the UK. So, like I mentioned, each college has got a manager and a team of staff, and they're basically there to help you if you have any problems. So, if you have, you may have a very small problem, something like you've lost your room key and you need to get a replacement. Or you might have a more serious problem, which might be something like you are suffering from homesickness and you want to speak to a mental health support worker, then they can help you with that as well. So you've got full range of support from your college team. The colleges also have social activities for students. So that would include things like sports teams, but it also includes more kind of informal social activities. So they will have things like film nights. They will maybe have like yoga classes, or they might have something like trips to local tourist venues that the college will organise for you. So it's basically a way of meeting new people and also getting support as a new student at York. And then for careers, if you come to the University of York, obviously you'll be coming on a student visa, so you can work for up to 20 hours per week part-time during term time. You can work full-time during vacations. We have lots of opportunities actually within the University of York for you to work. So, for example, we employ students to work as what we call international student ambassadors. So that might mean things like helping with open days on campus. It might involve helping with online events. It could be things like creating a short video showing people something about the campus. And then we also have lots of career support through the careers and placements team, who are there to help you with your employability. So what that means is that they will help you with things like writing job applications, writing your CV, or what you might call your resume. They will host networking events such as job fairs, workshops with employers, mentoring opportunities with local organisations. Okay. And then York Strengths is something that is very unique to the University of York. So this is something you can take part in as a student, which will help you to understand a little bit more about what type of person you are. So basically what your skills are, what skills you would like to develop, and how that links to potential career paths for you in the future. We have things like 5-week enterprise workshops, an entrepreneurial skills program, which you can take part in. So if you're interested in starting your own business, that can give you a great insight into how you would go about doing that. We have something called York Internships, where we have work opportunities that are specific for the University of York students and that are managed by the university. So these internships cover a range of job sectors, and they can last for anywhere between 4 to 12 weeks. So last year, more than 190 York students completed an internship through this particular scheme. We also have networking opportunities, and as part of our undergraduate programs, several departments will offer what we call a year in industry. So those departments will include biology, chemistry, computer science, electronic engineering, and physics. So those are placement years, which would normally be in year 3 of an undergraduate program. So typically you would do 2 years of study. Year 3 would be your industry year, and then you'd return in year 4 to complete your studies. All of the courses will include an optional placement year. So some of the organisations that we work with are listed up on screen. So some quite big names there that you will have heard of, like Dyson, Jaguar Land Rover, AstraZeneca, PwC, Unilever, just to name a few. Okay. And then so lots of opportunities to look at a system called Student Circus, which has free access for international students. So you can apply for over 1,000 visa sponsoring roles. So you get more information from the India team about that. Not going to kind of go into that too much at the moment. And then just in terms of student life, which is something you may be interested in, I'm going to show you a quick video. I mentioned we have two campuses, the East and the West. I'm just going to quickly show you the West campus, which is the older of the two campuses. This will last for a couple of minutes.
Joseph, I think we can't hear your the audio in this video that you're playing.
Oh, okay.
You might
stop.
have to unmute
I
yourself.
might skip that then.
Okay.
Leave that with me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lesson that we should all learn. Never work with video. It's always problematic. So I will skip that. There's just to mention, if you want to have a look at any of the footage of our campus, there are extensive video content on our website or on YouTube. So if you want to have a look at that, just have a browse of our website. Something that's also worth mentioning is that part of student life, we have over 200 student societies and over 60 sports clubs. So whatever you're interested in, you will find a society that will be of interest to you. So you can go and meet people who are interested in cultural things or sport or political and campaigning issues or games or whatever it might be. And you'll get to meet students who are from a wide range of backgrounds. You'll meet students from India, but you will also meet students who are from other parts of the world and maybe studying on a totally different course to the one that you're doing. Okay. A little bit about the University of York. I'm guessing most of you will probably not have visited the UK. So just to show you where we are, York is in the north of England. It is round about halfway between London, which is the capital of the UK, in the southeast of the country, and Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland, which is further north. So typically, if you're coming to the UK from overseas, you would normally either travel into probably London Heathrow and then get a direct train from London King's Cross to York, or more likely you would come into Manchester International Airport. So Manchester is round about, I'd say Manchester is just over an hour away, and it's about another 15 minutes out to the airport, and there's a direct link from Manchester Airport to City of York. I'm just going to leave this up on screen for a moment. So if you want to connect with us through either Instagram or Facebook, you can scan the QR code. So there are particular contacts there for students from India. So if you would like to do that, you can. And then these are the contacts for our India team. So the regional recruitment advisor is my colleague Mahima Kapoor. And then she has other colleagues, including Sukran, who is here today, who will be able to help you with specific questions you might have as an Indian applicant about coming to the University of York. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now, and if anybody has any questions, then we'll be very pleased to hear from you. And I'm going to be asking Sukran to help me out here because she is the expert on the India market.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I think that presentation actually covered a lot that we actually shared with our Indian students, but of course, we are happy to take any other questions. I think we've discussed about scholarships and the application process and requirements that are generally like the basic questions that we get from the students. But of course, any specific questions you have, feel free to ask.
So I think, Sukran, we've got some questions in the chat, which I might read out, and maybe you might like to answer them
Yeah, sure. I think I
live.
can't see any questions, but if you can just
Yeah, I'll do that. So the first question is from Ankit, who is asking about the application process for students applying for September 2025. So I guess the question is just about how you apply. Obviously, that'll differ according to whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate.
Yep. All right. So Ankit, I would want to know you're going for an undergrad or postgraduate program. If it's an undergrad, you can apply through a UCAS itself. If not, if a postgrad it is, you can directly apply through your counselor if you're in touch with them. And we are open for the application till 29th of August, like it was mentioned in the presentation. And there would be basic document that will be required, but of course you can get in touch with your counselor for that. So your academic documents, apart from that, your letter of recommendation or referee details for one of them. And yeah, these are the basic document that we'll require, but of course you already might have noted down our details, so you can get in touch with us directly as well if you want to apply for this intake. But the process is very simple, but and there is no application fee either for the postgrad students.
And then there's another question also from Ankit, which is just asking about which I think I covered in the presentation, but you might want to kind of just talk about in a bit more detail, which is about what scholarships are available for Indian students.
Okay, again, so it is different for both undergrad and postgrad, but if it's a postgrad program, you will definitely, if you're getting an offer from us for this intake, you will get a short scholarship of £4,000 after receiving your offer letter in a day or two, and then you can reach out to the team here in India, and we'll be happy to nominate you for an additional scholarship of £2,000. And then once you receive that scholarship, you can club 4,000 and 2,000 if you make the deposit payment within the deadline mentioned in the scholarship letter. Yep.
And then for undergraduate,
For undergrad, it's £10,000. Once you receive an offer letter, this time either you can get in touch with your counselor, but automatically we are nominating all the students for the £10,000 scholarship in the first year. So you'll get a letter itself. If not, you can reach out to us and we'll check that for you.
great. That's great. Thank you. And then there are two questions from Nihar Sharma. So they've got two questions. So the first one, I'll give you the second question in a moment, but the first question is, what kind of career support and opportunities does York offer both during your course and after you graduate?
Okay, all right. So it depends upon the program, but overall, as a university, we are top 20 in UK for our career prospects, which shows that we definitely support students from the initial time. As soon as you enroll on campus, you can get in touch with the careers team and they'll be happy to help you throughout. And from 17th June onwards, you'll be getting an email if you are applying to the university and get an offer. You will get an update about the career ignition hub, which is also a new thing that we have introduced. So even if before joining the university, if you want to know the type of opportunities available in the city or around, you can definitely go through that. But in terms of support, we do have a separate careers team on campus to reach out to, so you can definitely connect with them once you're there.
Yeah, the other thing to mention is that if you're a University of York student, the support that you have from the careers and placements team is not just for the period of your study at the university, it's lifelong support. So you can work with them after you graduate as well. And it's probably worth mentioning that we've got quite an extensive alumni network in India. So a lot of those are, well, they're basically people who have graduated from the University of York and who are Indian citizens, and you will find there will be opportunities to connect with them. A lot of those will be people who are now very successful in their careers, and they will be people you can contact and work with as in somebody starting out in your career. So yeah, the other question from Nihar is asking, how does the university's teaching and research benefit international students?
Okay, so I think teaching definitely, because we are top 10 in our ref and TEF, so that shows that we are the highest rated university in terms of our teaching and in terms of our research as well. So that shows that we do support very well in terms of teaching, but of course, because we are a collegiate based university too, so there would be a complete support from them in terms of teaching or anything extra you need, we do have well-being support team on campus. And if you're facing any challenges as well, there would be a team you can reach out to. So of course, in terms of support, you can definitely reach out to the team directly, and the ranking says it all.
Yeah, I think just to sort of add to that, I think the like we mentioned in the presentation, so York is top 10 for the quality of its research, and I think it's really important as a student to choose a university where the academic staff are very committed to the latest developments and the latest research in their particular field. I mean, people use a word like research, and it sounds very can sound a little bit dry and a little bit academic. But if you think about your different subject areas, there are lots of changes happening in areas like artificial intelligence, robotics, those type of areas where, as a student, you will be getting access to the latest facilities that you would use on your course. So it's important that staff are up to speed with the latest developments in those sectors. So that's that knowledge that they have then feeds into their teaching. So it means the quality of the teaching you receive is very high class as well. Okay, so I'm not immediately seeing any other questions. So if anybody would like to ask anything, now is the time to do it while we're here. Otherwise, Sukan, you might want to say just a little bit about the sort of services that the India team offers for students who are interested in further information.
Yeah, thank you, Joseph. So, of course, all of you, thank you so much for joining us here. And of course, if you need any support, we are based out of India. We did share the contact details of ours during the presentation. So, if you want to ask any specific questions around the university or the program or the scholarships, you can get in touch with us directly, and we'll be happy to answer all those questions. And we do organize certain webinars of these types, so you can definitely connect with us during these events too. So, yep.
So thank you so much for your valuable time. So all the audience, if you have any further questions, feel free to contact the StudyIn office in India. For more updates, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.